Hey you guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. Another day and another drama channel drama, and today we are going to be talking about the drama that went down on Twitter between Dustin, Nick, and Nicky from Tea Time, with a special guest appearance from Ashley Kyle as well as T-Trigger. Now, if you haven't seen my previous videos about what this whole thing was about, I will link part 2 up over here, as well as part 1 and 2 down in the description box down below, so you can get caught up on what all happened. Now, basically, what the whole thing was about, there was a thread that Inline with Elli did last December, and now people are starting to question whether or not that thread was true or false. Now, I will leave that up to you to go read about the thread and to watch videos about the thread and let you make your own decision on what you believe, because that is up to you. It's not me to tell you what's true or what's not. I'm just here to share my opinion. So all of this back and forth started when Tea Time sent out a tweet which Dustin quote tweeted. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. So Dustin quote tweeted Tea Time's tweet that read, like, seriously, we're all like family. And like family there is love, fights, and sometimes hair pulling. Don't ask us what's going on with our family. We gon' be alright. And when Dustin quote tweeted that, he said, oh, so y'all can say that, but when we don't want to speak on our friends, we're evil liars and we see you. So basically what Dustin is referring to is last year when all of those tweets and videos of Rich Lux coming out and people accusing him of being racist surfaced. A lot of people were telling the larger channels that were friends with him to say, hey, we want you to make videos about this. Why are you not making videos about this? And their response was, well, we're not going to make a video about this because this is our personal friend and we are handling this in private. And that's how they chose to handle the situation. So now Dustin is saying, well, everyone was telling us that we needed to make videos about the situation that was happening, so why are you not making videos about the situation? So I can definitely see both sides of it, because if it is somebody that you're friends with, I understand if you don't want to make a video about the situation, but you can't go after a group of people and say, hey, you need to make a video about the situation, and then turn around and be surprised when they are saying the same thing to you. And then Dustin tweeted, just FYI, if you create drama and push a narrative about a group of people, you're no better than that Mango dude when he did all that BS with Shannon. No one is gonna believe y'all say anymore. Not many did in the first place outside of the hashtag hate squad. And from what I am taking from this tweet is that Dustin believes that the thread is possibly false and that people were trying to spread a false narrative for the thread. But that is my opinion. Dustin followed that up by saying, I think apologies need to be made because God knows if any one of us who are dubbed the Heathers did some BS and conspired against anyone, we'd have mother effers at our throats. And with this one, it all comes down to whether or not you believe that the thread is false or if it's true. For the people that put the thread out that believe it's true, they're not going to offer an apology because they're like, no, these are the facts, here's the proof, this is why we believe that it's true. And the people who believe that it is false are going to be like, hey, where are our apologies? He then followed that up by saying, what's that old saying? Make sure your ducks are in a row before you come for someone? Quack, quack, mother effer. Oh, Dustin, you gotta be careful with these tweets because somebody could easily perceive that as a threat. Just giving you a warning. And lastly, Dustin tweeted, so I have to question everything now, like seriously. Ashley, Luscious, coming out of the woodwork, how deep does all of this run? And people got mad when I said I can't be friends with people who are friends with people who clearly want to destroy me. Now, if you are as confused as I am about this tweet, don't worry, because I was lost too. I did not see anything from Ashley or Luscious come across my timeline, so I was a bit confused. So I hopped over to Luscious's Twitter, and there has been no post from Luscious for a while. The last post was talking about not feeling well, and basically saying, like, I'm gonna take some time off because I'm not feeling well. And when I hopped over to Ashley's Twitter, this is what I saw. Ashley tweeted, I am confused AF as to why my name is being brought up. Again. I'm literally LMAO considering I don't talk to anyone hardly anymore. Effing weirdos. Ashley then replied to someone and said, right? I have been. Like, damn. Leave me the F alone. I'm happy and content. And then she went on to tweet, all I care right now is making sure my kiddos are getting their education, my family stays safe and healthy, our world recovers from this, our people, everyone stays safe and healthy. And trying to post a video for my audience to maybe distract them from everything. That's it. And she continues on by saying, I'm more happy now than I ever have been aside from the state of our world. I'm at complete peace with my YouTube journey and I plan to stay that way. I literally don't care about anything else. Like, at all. LMAO. And that's that. And this might come as a shock to you guys, but I absolutely agree with Ashley. I don't know if Dustin has his little tinfoil conspiracy hat on since we're all in quarantine right now, but I don't see how either Ashley or Luscious fits into this. So hats off to you, Ashley, for saying, you know what? Leave me the F out of this. None of this has to do with me. I'm just over here staying in my own lane, taking care of my family, educating my kids, doing all that stuff, and none of this has anything to do with me. So go ahead and leave my name out your mouth, and I'm just gonna carry on my merry old way and continue to make videos for my subscribers and take care of my family. And then Nick jumped in and said, remember when I called someone a puppet master? Oh, dear God, please, not again with the puppet master thing, Nick. We already went through this whole situation, and now we gotta bring it back up again. But basically what he's referring to, I think now with this tweet, is the fact that T-Trigger said that he was lied to and manipulated behind the scenes. But that is my opinion on why he is bringing that back up. Nicky then quote tweeted Dustin and said, I know you're bored, Dustin. The quarantine is getting the best of everyone. Do try to stay hydrated and make sure you wash your hands. Best of luck to you on your OnlyFans. And look at Nicky trying to be the voice of reason here, saying, you know what? This quarantine has just got us all a little bit stressed out. Let's just make sure that you get some water and keep yourself healthy by washing your hands. And good luck with your OnlyFans. Or was that shade? You decide. Let me know down below. Nick then quote tweeted Tea Time and said, but you have a platform. Granted, it's a very, very small one. But don't you find it a bit hypocritical how you aren't speaking up? What's the term people say? Oh, that's right. You're co-signing the behavior. Tea Time then quote tweeted Nick's tweet and said, can someone tell Nick to unblock us? We're more than willing to have a conversation. And again, this might surprise you guys, but I'm going to agree with Tea Time on this. If you are going to talk about somebody and at somebody, at least make sure that they are unblocked first so you can have a conversation about it. I mean, unless you want that conversation to be entirely public, this is something that could easily be handled in the DMs and not out in public. Adrian then replied to Tea Time and said, I'm tired of him the most. He's so loud and so wrong majority of the time. Don't worry, Nicky and Mocha. Y'all got what they want. And then Tea Time replied back saying, a soul? And you guys, you know what, this one actually had me laughing, but let's be honest. We all know that Nick doesn't have a soul. He hasn't had one in a long time, ever since he started walking on the runway. And I mean, let's be honest. Did he even have one before then? T-Trigger tweeted out, weekend finally. Did I miss anything Twitter this week? Tea Time then quote tweeted that and said, no, not really. It's really calm. And T-Trigger replied back by saying, LOL. And you know what? I can appreciate a little banter back and forth when things are blowing up and people are like, no, everything's fine. Business as usual. Tea Time tweeted, Nick and Dustin are so bitter and so jealous. They literally couldn't wait to find a way to make this about us. Girl, go to bed. Jan's Reviews replied saying, ever since the Houston horrors, they and their Klingons have been desperate to interject in order to become relevant again. So predictable, it's laughable. And I love how Jan's Reviews can literally jump in and just take everybody down in one sentence. She's just so quick with those comebacks. Dustin then quote tweeted Tea Time and said, bitter for what? And he followed that up by tweeting, when people say you're jealous when there's absolutely nothing they have going on to be jealous over. I'm gagged. I mean, Nicky and Mocha do have a really tight best friend relationship, and I'm just over here sitting by myself in quarantine. So they at least have something I don't have. And then Nick jumps back in and said, I have to laugh at those who think throwing shade at myself/friends for having OnlyFans is affecting us. Baby, we stay paid without any worry. Maybe if you had some kind of hustle yourself, you wouldn't have enough time to sit online eating rice cakes, judging others. First of all, Nick, do not bring rice cakes into this because rice cakes did nothing to you. Rice cakes are probably a great way to stay in shape, and that's probably why I am not in shape, so leave rice cakes out of this. But, I mean, anybody who does attack somebody because they are doing an OnlyFans as a form of income, I don't think is right. I mean, there's no reason to knock somebody's hustle if they're making money from it. I mean, if you have to do an OnlyFans, or if you have to go work at a strip club, or if you have to go sell yourself on the corner, I mean, if you are doing what you have to do to be able to take care of yourself, I don't think that matters at all. But the one thing that you should not do is offer sexual favors to a cop. Dustin then quote tweeted Nicky's tweet, which said, at 3 Daily, sir. You seem to have a lot to say, but neglect to use the at button every single time. Keep it real or keep it on the playground. To which Dustin replied, boy, here it is. What's your malfunction? You talk lots about myself and others, but when it comes to you, you're the exception to what you preach? Imagine that. And with this, I can agree with both of them. If you're going to talk about somebody, like, at least say it to them with an @ Like, all of the subtweeting and the mysterious tweets, like, if you have something to say about somebody, just tell them. Just say, hey, this is about you. And so what Dustin is saying, I'm assuming, is that he says that Nicky is not doing what he says that Dustin should be doing. But that's what I'm taking from this. And how about while you're at it, while you're talking about Rich Lux, you stay your thirsty out of his assistant's inbox. And I have no idea how a relationship like that would work. That would be a little messy if Nicky does not like Rich Lux, but then started dating his assistant. Like, could it happen? Maybe. I mean, I guess we'll see. Nicky then replied to Dustin and said, girl, this is tea? I stay in that inbox. Maybe if you were getting better box, you wouldn't be so bitter. And Nicky is coming for the jugular with this one. Basically, he's saying, like, look, Dustin, maybe if you'd get some, maybe you wouldn't be so bitter. Maybe you wouldn't need to be fighting with people online so much. He's coming for Dustin saying, you need to get some action. And Dustin then quote tweeted that and said, this is as weak as your engagement and as sad as your pickup lines. Please see yourself out. Now, I don't think that this one really bothers Nicky at all because I don't believe that Tea Time cares about engagement. They just care about going online and making videos, but that's just my opinion. I don't know how they feel about engagement rates. Nicky then replies by saying, ma'am, isn't there a bridge you should be patrolling? I'm sorry your only accomplishment in life is a YouTube channel. It's okay. If I were you, I would hate me too. Now run along and tell Ethan I said hi. I ain't heard from him in 3 days. So I'm basically assuming that Nicky here is trying to call Dustin a troll. But you know what? Having a successful YouTube channel, I don't think it's really that much of a drag. There's people out here that don't have anything to show for their lives, and if you have a successful YouTube channel and you're making money on it, like, good for you. And if you are as confused as I am about who is Ethan, so was Dustin, because he replied to that tweet and he said, who's Ethan? Nicky then replied to Dustin and said, is that not his name? So many I can hardly keep them together. You wouldn't know the struggle. Anyway, give the girls my love, especially the cute one. Dustin then replied and said, I believe you meant Elton. Also, I have had many accomplishments, and one was you responding showing just how bothered you are. Don't you have a video to film tomorrow for your group of bitter Bettys? Want to go spread some more lies? Nicky, if you're trying to get with someone, you gotta at least remember their name. Like, come on, how are they gonna be like, yeah, let's get together if you can't even remember their name? Nicky then replied and said, love, I take this as seriously as the world takes you. I don't. Dustin, sweetie, hang it up. And then Dustin quoted that and said, aw, it's unfortunate while you may be handsome on the outside, you're showing your true inner workings. Now, there was a couple more tweets, but for some reason I can't find my screenshots where Nicky said, aw, you think I'm handsome, and Dustin replied back by saying it was a typo. Now, who knows? Could there maybe be an OnlyFans collab in the works with these two? But that is everything for today's video, so I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you think that this whole back and forth was funny, or do you think it was just childish and petty and just didn't even need to happen? Let me know all of your opinions down below. If you like this video, please make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. Also, if you're new to my channel, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could hit that big red subscribe button and also hit that bell icon and set the notifications to all so you'll be notified of every time that I upload a new video. Alright, that's everything for today, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!